back, everybody. Here's a video by request, how to find your first investment property. Hope you like the new digs. Let's get into it. Right. So, choosing your first property. First thing you want to do is open up your map, look what's a 3-hour drive window for you. Try to stay within 3 hours of your personal location for the areas that you want to invest in. All right, let's say you found an area 2.5 hours away, like I did. You find your little area. You may have to repeat this process several times till you find the right area, because this is the longest part of the process of becoming an investor. Because first place you look may look nice, you may have your expectations might be too high. Then when you start to do your homework, it may not work out for you. It took me a very long time to find the first property, my first property. It just took me forever. You know, I was looking for a very particular investment, and I tried to be as safe as possible in the beginning, because my first property, I had too much to lose if I made too big of a mistake. So I did a lot of research. So I believe that you should go the same direction. Your first time out, take your time. Don't rush into anything. Don't be afraid to go into a deal, but don't rush into anything, because then you'll make a mistake, and mistakes in this world cost an arm and a leg. You'll lose it all. All right, so after you find your area that you're interested in, go to Zillow. All right. This marker sucks, but it's what I got. All right, so you go to Zillow. You want to check the comps. You want to see what the houses are listed for. You want to look at the prices of the houses that are being sold. And the best thing to do is to figure out if those prices match your budget. And very, very important, know your budget. Whatever you're doing, your budget will be challenged, because there is nobody safe from that part of this business. Whatever you think 20% more. That's what I've been told, and it seems to be the truth. And check the recently sold prices against the current prices, because if there's a lot of foreclosures in the area, a lot of short sales, you'll see it in the price differences. If you see way too many houses selling for way below the prices that are listed, you kind of want to find out why that's the case. Once you went through the process of looking for houses, you also want to check to see what the rents are in the area. Okay, so you want to make sure that the rents agree with your budget. And because if the rents are way too low in an area for what you're going to spend, you're never going to make any money on the deal. So you want to make sure that you're buying property in an area that you can actually rent. The way that I look for the basic prices of like the rental prices in an area is I usually go on Craigslist. It's a great way to check the prices in an area that the rents are going for. Before we start going to the numbers of the houses, the first thing I want you guys to realize is that there's something called an ARV. Okay, it's ARV. Okay, and that's basically an acronym for after repair. After repair value. Okay. So obviously you don't want to buy, so if you're in the market for a $100,000 property, you don't want to buy a $100,000 property, right? You want to buy something that's worth $100,000, but you're going to buy it for less, okay? So after repair value. Let's assume that your property that you're looking for is going to have an ARV value of $100,000. We'll use this number because it's even, and the percentages work well off of it. All right. So now, on a $100,000 property, you want to be able to receive rents at least $1,200 a month. Okay, $1,200 per month. Okay. Okay. You want to make sure that you're getting at least 1.2% of the value of the house. This is a ratio that you should try to stay within. Try not to get a house where you're getting less than one. Definitely don't go for a house less than 1% on your first deal, because it'll bite you in the butt. You'll run out of money. All right. So after you find all this, now you got to figure out what the price that you want to pay for the house. So my suggestion, look for a house that needs roughly between $20,000 and $30,000 in repairs. Let's for argument's sakes, or for this video's sakes, let's say that you're going to find a house that needs $30,000, okay, in reno. Okay, $30,000 reno, and just to throw it in, let's throw in another $10,000. Okay, and that $10,000 will represent your holding costs and some potential unknowns. Okay, so you'll end up with a $40,000 negative. Okay, so now what does that do? That brings you, now what you want to do is you want to get a property with this number cut out of it. Okay, so you're looking at a $60,000 property. Okay, now if you can find yourself a property for $60,000, you're good. Now what I do what my main strategy is to find this particular deal, find that $60,000, and try to fight it down a little more, because you could always give offers, right? So let's say you got this property. Let's say you got the $60,000 property on the table. Now, if you're able, now for me, I come in all cash, so that gives me a little more buying power as far as how much I can spend on a property. But for that $60,000 property, I'm going to try to get it for $50,000. Okay. Now, if you can get a $100,000 property ARV for $50,000, you're in good hands. All right, moving forward. All right, now we start moving in the other direction. You got the property, got a bunch of estimates on the property. You're ready to go. All right, don't forget to get a bunch of estimates. Don't make the same mistake I did and not get enough estimates. I should have gotten more. I would have done better. All right, so now you have $50,000 on the property. All right, and you're about to spend $40,000. You're about to spend $40,000 fixing it up and holding it. So you're going to end up with $90,000, right? Not bad. Now keep in mind, the property should appraise for $100,000, right? Now, right now you're all in at $90,000, right? So what does that mean? That means that you have a net of $10,000 profit. Okay. You already have $10,000 built in. You already have $10,000 as a profit. That's a good starting point, right? So now what do you do at this point? You get the property fixed up, you get it all renovated. Now the next step is basically getting it refinanced. But you're not going to be able to refinance most properties right away. You're probably going to have some sort of a holding period that all banks are going to require you to do. Some places do it quick, some places will make you even hold it up to a year, because they want to see that the property is a cash flowing property and that you have stable tenants. So in this case, remember we told you that we were going to rent this property for $1,200 a month. Okay, let's write that down. Okay, $1,200 a month. Okay, $1,200 a month. That basically comes out to $14,400 a year. Okay. It's $14,400 a year you're going to get for this property, $1,200 a month. Now, when you go to refinance the property, try to go to a local bank or a local credit union. Don't go to a national bank. They're going to bite you in the butt. They're not going to give you the best deal, and you're not going to maximize your your income from the property if you go to one of those. You're probably better off going to someplace local that will appraise your property properly, and you won't and they'll make things happen faster for you. All right, so most banks will give you up to 80% of the appraised value of the property. Okay, so the appraised value in this particular case, we're talking about a property that's supposed to appraise for $100,000, right? Okay, let's say you got your 80% from that 100,000. From that, you're getting a refinance on 80% for 80% of this $100,000. That's going to put $80,000 on your side of the fence with a mortgage on an $80,000 mortgage. You have on paper $100,000 property. All right. Now the mortgage on the $80,000, I did the math in advance. It is $675. Okay, so your mortgage is going to be $675 a month. Not bad, right? Considering that you're making $1,200 a month. Okay, so that's going to leave you with $525 a month. All right. Let's move to another piece of paper. Let's do this. $525 a month. All right. From this $525 a month, I want to take out at least $325 for expenses. Okay. So this will leave you with a cash flow, which is the goal of this all, of $200 clean. $200 a month. Okay, $200 a month. That's $2,400 a year. Okay. All right. So now, at the end of the day, where do you stand? You have $100,000. Let me change markers. At the end of the day, you have $100,000 property on paper. You have an $80,000 mortgage. That's being paid for. Don't forget, you don't have to go into your personal pocket and pay for this mortgage. This mortgage is going to be paid. Okay. So besides the fact that you have an $80,000 mortgage, you have $80,000 in the bank. Okay, so you have $100,000 property on paper, but you have $80,000 in the bank. How does that sound? Now this is my investment strategy at play. $80,000 in the bank. What do? You go and you buy another house. Okay, what did we do here? We bought a house, we rehabbed it, we rented it, we refinanced it, and now we have $80,000 in the bank, and now we're gonna do that whole thing all over again. Not bad, right? Now, depending on what type of buyer you are, there's not too many people out there. There's not too many people out there that have, $90,000, $80,000 sitting around in their pocket. That's understandable, but there's ways around it. You can go get a hard money loan to try to close these, to try to get these numbers in play. These numbers work even with a loan. My suggestion, and you'll see that throughout all my videos, I don't suggest any loans. I suggest sitting back for a couple of years, save up as much money as you can, and try to lock in on one of these properties all cash. So this way you can maximize your income, and you'll always be ahead of the game. Because if you put all your money in up front, it'll be your money that'll keep rolling. It's like a snowball effect. After you refinance this house, buy another house, you'll fix that house, refinance that house, and buy another house. That's the goal. All right. I want to say thank you to everybody for watching this video. I also want to say that I will be giving away a shirt in a future video. I would like it if you guys can give me some comments below. If anybody has any suggestions for future content, anybody has any questions, anybody wants to know about anything, if I choose one of those comments as a suggestion, I'll create the video and I'll give away a shirt that day. Please subscribe, hit that like button, hit that little bell for notifications. I appreciate all the support. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.